Hello, first graders and friends. It is Monday, so that means we have another read aloud, and we are going to read chapter 3 today. So, before we get started, we're going to get our brains ready to learn and say our KOC motto. So, repeat after me. I am smart. I believe in myself. I am a great kid. I have courage. I deserve to learn. Today is going to be awesome! So, now that our brains are ready and we can listen and also go over our questions really quick, we'll get started with the chapter today. So, the questions that we had last week were: what new characters were introduced in Chapter 2? So, we had two. It was Captain Teach and Carrie. She's another Bailey school kid. And then the second question is, what activities do you do at an outdoor camp? So, you do things like hiking or running, you can play volleyball, or just some activities that you do outdoors right now. So, things that I've been doing is my dog and I have been going on a lot of walks. We usually walk to the dog park so she can play around for a little bit. I'm sure she's going to be very excited because she just heard me say the word walk and dog park. But we've also been going on runs. I've been playing some volleyball with friends that, don't worry, I live with because they are my roommates, and stuff like that. So the last question that we had is, would you rather hang out at a mall, like Carrie said, or would you rather hang out outdoors or at a summer camp? And personally, I would like to hang out outdoors. I don't love shopping, so I prefer to be outdoors either with my dog or when I'm able to with friends. And right now that's not very possible, but that's okay. We can hope for in the next few months that can happen. But those are a few things that I like to do, and also going on walks at parks. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Again, we are reading The Adventures of the Bailey School Kids, Pirates Don't Wear Pink Sunglasses. And we are on chapter 3 this week. So I have a couple questions for you to be thinking about while I'm reading. Number 1 is, who is Long-Tongued Jack? And that's also the title of our chapter, Long-Tongued Jack. Number 2, where did Molly the Red sail to? And number 3, what ocean connected to the Red River that Bailey City lies on? So, we're going to go ahead and get started and be thinking about those questions while I read. Coach Ellison herded the group down to the lake where Captain Teach waited. He stood on 2 boats, with 1 foot in each boat. Melody nodded. Look at his parrot. Perched on Teach's shoulder was a large yellow and green bird with a bright orange beak. Morning, the bird chirped. Oh, how sweet, Carrie said. Roommate, the bird squawked. Eddie laughed. Sweet, just like poison. Hardy har har, Captain Teach laughed and pushed his sunglasses. Long-Tongued Jack here says it'd be time to get started. We've no time to waste if you're going to win that race. But we can't win, Liza whined. The Sheldon City Sharks always beat the Bailey Boaters. Can't never wins, Long-Tongued Jack squawked and raised his colorful wings. Jack's right, Teach roared. We'll have no lily-livered quitters here. Captain Teach never gives up without a fight. Even if we're the worst rowers in the state? Eddie asked. Especially then, Teach said, and adjusted his pink sunglasses. We'll catch those Sheldon big shots off guard. They'll never know what hit 'em. Now you're talking, Eddie smiled, but the rest of the kids still looked uncertain. Surely now you pint-sized pieces of fish bait know the story of Molly the Red. Captain Teach looked at the kids, shaking their heads. Molly the Red, Long-Tongued Jack screeched and flew over to Coach Ellison and sat on his head. So we have a picture to look at. we can see long-tongued Jack, that's hard to say fast, sitting on Captain Teach's shoulder. He does have one foot in each boat, and then he's talking to the kids about how they are going to beat the Sheldon City Sharks. So, that's the picture we can look at. We see all of our friends in it, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the next page. A few kids snickered. Coach Ellison stood very still as Teach began telling his story. It was back in 1718, when pirates still ruled the seas. Molly the Red was the fiercest pirate ever to sail up the northern coast. Most pirates were content to stay near the Barbary coast, where it was safe. But not Molly. She feared not a thing, excepting maybe Blackbeard himself. A few kids nodded their heads in recognition of the name Blackbeard, the most famous pirate who ever lived. Molly's ship was loaded with riches she'd looted from ships sailing from the East Coast harbors. She needed a place to hide out for a while to bury her treasures. That place was Bailey City, Coach Ellison interrupted. Long-tongued Jack flapped his wings and squawked, "Bailey treasure, Bailey treasure!" But Bailey City isn't on the ocean, Howie pointed out. Aye, a smart lad you be. The original settlement of Bailey City was right here on the shores of the Red River, which flows into the Atlantic Ocean. I never knew pirates were in Bailey City, Eliza said with wide eyes. Teach shook his head. The scallywags never made it. Molly thought that Bailey City would be an easy mark of yellow-bellied men and women, a good place to rob and plunder and hide out. But Bailey City had a surprise for her. What happened? Melody asked. When some of the gentlefolk of Bailey City heard that Molly's thieving rascals were on their way, they ran off. But some had the guts to stay. They built barricades and practiced with their weapons, women and men alike. They were ready when Molly's ship, heavy with treasure, rounded the bend to Bailey City. Did Molly's pirates loot Bailey City? Howie asked. Hardy har har, Captain Teach roared. Hardly. The men and women of Bailey City blew that ship clear out of the water. What about the treasure? Carrie asked. Never found, Teach whispered. Some think it's still there, buried by that thieving woman somewhere on the shores of the Red River. The kids looked at the blue water, wondering about the treasure, until Eddie interrupted. This is all very interesting, he said to Captain Teach, but what does it have to do with the race? Everything, Teach said, slowly adjusting his pink glasses. We're going to do the same thing to the Sheldon Sharks that they did to Molly the Red. We're going to blow them out of the water. All right, that is chapter 3. So we will read chapter 4 on Friday. But before we go, we're going to go over our questions one more time so that you can be thinking about those for next time. So question 1, who is Long-Tongued Jack? Try and say that name 3 times fast. But who is he? Number 2, where did Molly the Red sail to? And number 3, what ocean connected to the Red River? And I'll give you a hint. The name of the ocean begins with the letter A. So, be thinking about those for Friday, and I will have another video for you posted. Bye, everybody.